Hey, what's up, guys? It's Jordan with Laundromat Resource, and I'm here with Dave, the Laundromat Millionaire Menz. How's it going, Dave?
Good. How are you, man?
I am doing awesome. I'm so excited about this little announcement. Actually, it's a huge announcement. I'm very excited. But before we kind of get into the details of that, we had a live Q&A last month.
Yeah.
It was awesome. It was
Dude,
like
I was overwhelmed with the fact that we had over 50 people there. I know 50 isn't a big number for some people if you're like, some big famous person. But I couldn't believe that in a matter of a week, I guess I could believe it, but in a matter of a week, you and I were able to reach out to our networks of people in the industry and get not only some new laundromat owners that were looking at the industry, and I think we helped a lot, but to get some like heavy hitters aside from you and I that were in the forum or in the comment sections and answering questions with us and helping people. So it wasn't even just you and I helping people, but it was, I don't know how you feel about it, but it couldn't have went any better from my little idea in my brain to when I called you. And I don't know how else to say it. It couldn't have been any better, especially for a first time with like a week's notice. And I am just thank you. Like that's all I can say to you personally, Jordan, and to the industry and to the people that joined us, to our friends. I know we both had several clients that had joined us for that, and I am guessing you got some messages. I did. I've already got a few questions for the next one. That I'm kind of putting in my back pocket. And I mean, even if it doesn't grow any, I'm okay with that because I feel like 50 people. And then if you take those 50 people and they're kind of tentacles in the network, they're friends that are in the industry or friends that will get in the industry and that type of stuff. We said from the get go, if we were going to help 20 people or if we were able to help 20 people, we were okay with that.
Yeah.
Like this doesn't need to be 200,000 people. So I don't know how you feel about it, but I couldn't be more happy about the first one. And guys, if you didn't see that, we did record it. Jordan and I both dropped it on our YouTube channels, laundromatresource.com, or Laundromat Resource is Jordan's YouTube channel. His website's laundromatresource.com. And my YouTube channel, Laundromat Millionaire, it's on there. I forget the exact date, but it was December something, 2020. So go check that out. And Jordan and I will both put that link in the show notes in the comments section on our channels for this video. So if you're watching us right now, don't hesitate to go back and watch that in anticipation of the next one because it was phenomenal. It was phenomenal.
Well, I feel awesome about it too. And, awesome enough to where, obviously we're doing it again and we'll tell you the details about that at the end of the video. But real quick, I wanted to just highlight a couple of the questions. I wrote them all down. Awesome. A couple of the questions that we went over. We covered a lot of ground in that 90 minutes. And again, super big thank you to all of you who had questions. There were some awesome questions that I know that not only the people who asked them had, but a ton of other people have those too, both who were on the live calls or the live video, and also the people who are watching it after on your Facebook page and on our YouTube channels. So huge thanks. Hopefully we got some good answers to your questions, but hopefully also those questions and answers are helping a lot of other people also. But a few of the highlights, we had, probably the most rewarding questions for me that we got to address there were quite a few people who were on that Q&A with us whose businesses were not doing so well financially. And we got to kind of address, so here's some things that you can do to improve your business, to help bring in some more revenue, but also, to kind of shift the mindset a little bit to say, it's the money follows the value, right? So how do you provide more value to your customers? I thought you did an awesome job at addressing that question and a bunch of others. But that for me was some of the more rewarding questions, because there were a few along those lines. But we got into all kinds of things about pickup and delivery. We got into commercial accounts. We got into hiring employees. We got online reviews. We talked about ozone. We talked about distributors, on and on. We talked about a lot of stuff in that video, and we're doing it again because we know there's more of you with more questions, and we want to get to as many of those as we can get to. And I want to just echo Dave real quick. Huge shout out and thanks to those of you who are veterans in the industry that joined us on that, and were super active in the chat. We hope you guys will join us again.
Come back. Join us.
Yeah, answering questions, because we've been around the block a little bit in the industry, but we're not the only ones for sure. And so a lot of our friends who have been in this industry and who know what they're talking about, we're in there answering questions right alongside us and elaborating on what we were talking about. So super awesome. The community feel of it was top notch. I mean, it was great. So looking forward to that again.
And I know I said it in the beginning, I can't state enough that we, and I'm not talking about you and I, but we, the industry, were able to put something together that was 90 minutes long, that had an insane amount of value for anyone in the laundromat industry. Even if they weren't live, there's people going to be getting value out of that video for years and years to come. Mm-hmm. And that makes me feel really good. I know it makes you feel really good. I know it's part of why we're doing these things. But the exciting part is, like, I feel like we're just getting started with this stuff. Like I had so much, when I had this idea in my mind initially, I had so much energy from it. And then when I called you and I was like, dude, do this with me. And you were like, I'm in. Like, I fed off of that energy. I fed off the Jordan Berry energy. And that was awesome. And then we got to do the event in a really short period of time. Like, we totally threw this together quickly in like 10 days, had over 50 people in it, had some serious industry veterans in the comments section helping us to not only promote this thing, but to get it going. The amount of value in that 90-minute video is off the charts, and it's going to continue for months and months and years to come. But what I'm super excited about is that really we're just getting started. Yeah. And our one in January is going to be like, I know you're excited. I can see it on your face. I can't hide it on my face. The excitement that I have for the next one and the next one and the next one. Because we said from the beginning, hey, we might do this once and it may just totally flop, and we'll be like, hey, good try. But it didn't flop. We hit a home run, so it was awesome.
Well, what I'm out of my mind excited about is not only did the last one go over so well, but the next one, we didn't take it to another level. We took it to another planet. Like, I cannot wait for this one in January 2021. If you're watching this before then, first of all, if you're watching this, it's going to be live here on the Laundromat Resource YouTube channel. It may be available on some other platforms. We're trying to work out the details on that, but make sure you subscribe to both the Laundromat Resource YouTube channel and the Laundromat Millionaire YouTube channel, and make sure you hit the little bell, the notification bell. That'll tell you when we go live. So just in case you forget the details that we're going to tell you at the end about when this thing is going to be, it'll let you know when we go live so you can join us. But going back to this one, like, huge. We have a guest coming on, and I cannot be more ecstatic about who's going to join us for this question and answer. Why don't you give us a little detail about who's joining us on this Q&A?
Yeah, in the first one, I kind of teased at the very end that you give Jordan Berry and Dave Menz a couple weeks or 6 weeks, whatever it is, that we may come up with a guest. And I don't know that we'll have these every time, but I know you and I agree that the more the merrier, as long as we can not talk over each other, which isn't a strength of mine. But the more of us that are providing value, the more value there is in the context of what we're trying to do here. And, you and I talked to Jordan about different guests, and we've got kind of a starter list. And at the top of that list for us was our guest. Mm-hmm. And I couldn't be any more excited about it. So, we're doing this event in January 14th at 6 p.m. Eastern time. And so that's 3 p.m. West Coast time.
West Coast,
Pacific.
Best Coast, 3
West
p.m.
Coast, West Coast.
Whoop.
I gave Jordan a new nickname, by the way, on the phone today, guys. I call him West Coast Jordan. So feel free to join me with Jordan's new nickname. You see him at the Clean Show or whatever. We now call him West Coast. That's his nickname. So anyway, yeah. He's gonna start throwing signs now.
I'll stop pretending to be gangster because
Right.
anything but yeah.
So man,
tell us about this guest. I'm like dying right now.
Yep. I couldn't possibly be any more excited. So our guest is a leader in the industry, and that is probably the understatement of the century. When I say a leader in the industry, I don't know if we get ranked, but like I'm down at like 3,000 or something, and this guy's definitely in the top 10 or 15.
We might be talking about the leader in the industry,
if not number one.
Recent history.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
agree. This guy has been not only in the industry, but a leader in the laundromat industry for 28 years. I mean, that's like, I've only been in the industry 11 years, and people consider me an industry veteran. And
can I say that I was only 10 years old 28 years ago. So that's a long time.
I'm not very good at math, but I think I was 16. So yeah, I mean, me and Jordan weren't even 18 years old at that point. And here he was already, like I said, not just in the industry, but he's actually been a leader in the industry that whole time. He is the president and the CEO of the Coin Laundry Association, the CLA. And I'm sure you guys have at least heard of the CLA, but if you haven't, the Coin Laundry Association, I don't even know how long they've been around. I don't know if you know, but it's got to be like 50 years, maybe more. And I mean, they are the trade association for our industry. They have been leading our industry through ups and downs, including this pandemic, with grace and dignity and a ton of experience. And at the very, very top of that organization is Brian Wallace. Brian Wallace is the president and CEO of the CLA. And I know I myself, if I had to pick one organization that I've gotten the most value out of collectively in the 12 years or 11 years that I've been in the industry, organizationally, it would be the CLA. Some of the things that I've bought in their online store, some of the resources that I bought through there, obviously some of the relationships that I've had, some of the networking I've done, the value I've gotten from things like Planet Laundry Magazine, the value that I've gotten from things like their forum and things like that. I mean, it's not an understatement to say that they've made me who I am in this industry, and they've absolutely been a part of making me successful. And so my sincere gratitude and thanks to everyone that's a part of the organization, and this is all the members collectively too. But special thanks to our guest Brian Wallace, because I mean, no organization is gonna run smoothly and is going to be productive for whatever their focus and their goal is without a great leader at the top. And I don't know how long he's been the president. I didn't actually ask him that. I will when we go live for sure. But I know he's been the president and CEO for the 11 years that I've been in the industry. If I had to guess, I would guess over 20 years would be my guess. So I'm like, I couldn't be any more excited. One, that we had such great success at the beginning. I couldn't be any more excited that you're joining me again. And we're just going to keep doing this because I believe this is good for our industry. Mm-hmm. I believe that you and I and anyone else that wants to collaborate with us, whether it's Brian Wallace or anyone else in the industry, and there's people watching this right now, we're calling you next. I'm telling you right now, like, we got Brian Wallace, we landed Brian Wallace, and now we're coming for you. We want you to be a guest, to help us bring value to the industry. Jordan and I kind of have this vision and this dream of, we have incredible gratitude for the industry collectively, but we also believe that we're just tip of the iceberg of what our industry can become. And so a big part of why me and Jordan have our platforms and our content and we're collaborating on things like this is we believe that if we all work together, as opposed to seeing ourselves as kind of adversaries and withholding information and keeping it top secret, that we're sharing that information from a kind of an abundance mindset that we really truly believe that that's best for all of us collectively, best for the industry, and ultimately best for the communities that our businesses serve.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm so excited about having Brian Wallace on, and, and not just for the fact of having Brian Wallace on, that in and of itself is a huge honor and privilege. And for any of you who are either in the laundromat business now or who want to get into this laundromat industry by buying your first laundromat, man, this is the guy you want to ask some questions to, because he's not only coming as himself, but he's coming with the weight and experience of the CLA behind him, and all of his experience leading it and being a part of it behind him. So, and he's coming to help answer your questions, to help you improve your business, to help you get into the business if that's what you're trying to do, in order to serve your customers better, but also, to make more money, because that's why we're in business, to serve our customers and to make more money doing it. And he's coming on to answer your questions, to help you do that. And we do believe, man, working together, I know for a fact, a quantifiable fact, that I personally have benefited just from working with you and doing, these things with you, the podcast, interview, doing these Q&As, all kinds of stuff that we've done together over the last, not even year that we've known each other, like 7 months, 6-7 months. Yep. And already I've benefited from it hugely. And, and we're doing the same thing, and we're trying to help the same people. So we should be competitors, but we both genuinely believe that working together, we're both going to benefit more. And not only just, doing this content stuff, but also, with our laundromat businesses, we're all going to be better off when we're working together, when we're helping each other get better. We all benefit. And not only that, but our customers benefit, because they get a better product, more value for their experience. So it's just better all the way around, and could not be more grateful to be doing this with you, and could not be more excited to have Brian on with us. And I can't wait to, benefit from his wisdom also. I got tons to learn from him too.
Yeah. So. And just to be clear, guys, I mean, Jordan and I are going to be hosting it. Brian's going to be our guest speaker, if you want to call it guest. And he's going to be on here instead of seeing the two of our windows. Brian's going to be on here too. So you're going to be getting something that's fairly unprecedented, in a sense of you're going to get a direct portal to the man. You're getting a direct access to Brian Wallace, the president and CEO of the CLA, which is the laundromat industry's largest and best trade association, bar none. You're getting Brian Wallace, the leader, as a person and an individual, which is a fantastic human being. He has, I talked about it with you, Jordan, and I'm going to say it again about Brian Wallace. He has the heart of a servant. And so it's fantastic that you and I see eye to eye on so many things collaboration wise, but I can't thank Brian and the CLA enough for seeing our vision, and for not seeing people like you and I, who have our own content and our own channels, for not seeing us as adversaries. I appreciate them, opening their minds up and saying, this is what's best for the industry. And we're not going to look at you as competing or denigrating the organization that is the CLA. And I appreciate him looking at it in that way. I appreciate him being so genuine and sincere with us on the phone. And I couldn't possibly be any more excited, because everything you and I are trying to do with these Q&As is one thing: bring value. We're trying to elevate the industry together, all collectively. And to have someone like Brian join along with us and collaborate with us is just, I don't know, but it might be unprecedented. I'm not really sure. I mean, obviously Brian has an insane history, and he's a published author. He's accomplished a lot of great things, and just to have him agree to do this is humbling, I guess is the word that I would use for that. I'm just excited, because everything I try to do, and I know what you try to do, is just bring value. Yeah. And I have no doubt that Brian Wallace joining on this to be a guest for us is going to bring the other laundromat owners an insane amount of value.
Yeah. I would tell you what is unprecedented is having 3 minds as genius as ours all together in the same place. Like, that seems really unprecedented.
Well, I want to thank you for that, because no one in the history of Dave Menz's life has ever done this. I owe you a debt of gratitude, because now I can say that I'm a genius. Well, it's not proclaimed.
In fairness, it's kind of like saying, when me and, Bill Gates are in the same room together. Our net worth combined is in the top 5, of all net worths. It's kind of
together. I mean, combined, you guys are billionaires.
Yeah, exactly. So no, I'm just kidding. Hey, all right. If you're watching this, there's 3 things you need to do. Number 1, first and foremost, is take out your calendar or your calendar app and put in there, reserve this time, January 14th. What is that, a Thursday? I think it's a Thursday. January 14th. Your calendar will tell you, confirm what day it is. 6 p.m. Eastern time, 3 p.m. Pacific time. Put it in there, reserve the spot, because like Dave said, you have a direct line to the man, Brian Wallace, president and CEO of the CLA. You can ask him your questions that will either improve your business if you have a laundromat business currently, or if you're looking to get into the business, who better to ask than the president and CEO of the Coin Laundry Association than that. So get that in your calendar right now. Thing number 2, right now, just give a little subscribe if you haven't yet, and hit that alert bell to both a Laundromat Resource YouTube channel and the Laundromat Millionaire YouTube channel, because that will tell you when we go live and you don't want to miss it. So that's just another layer of a reminder. And number 3, if you need another reminder and more just promptings to make sure that you don't miss it, head over to laundromatmillionaire.com and or laundromatresource.com. Make sure you get on our email list, because we'll be emailing all of our list to make sure that everybody who wants to be there can be there. And man, I'm so excited, more than excited to be doing this with you, and just ecstatic that Brian's going to be joining us. So make sure you don't miss it and you join. So subscribe, get it in your calendar, and head over to our websites to get on those email lists if you want those email promptings.
Yeah, guys, we appreciate you participating the first time. Once again, I'm going to shamelessly plug our first Q&A. Jordan and I are both going to put this on our channels. So we're going to put it down in the show notes, a link to our first Q&A. That was 90 minutes long with me and Jordan and some other very experienced industry veterans that were in the comment section answering comments for people. So if you haven't watched that, go and watch that. That'll give you an idea of kind of the format and what we're looking to do. But you can also see that as great as that was and productive as it was, the next one's going to be even better. And I don't know how we're gonna top this with Brian Wallace on, but we're going to keep trying, because Jordan and I, we're not afraid. We're not afraid to fall flat on our face. And so
have fun doing it.
We're going to keep reaching and seeing how much value we can bring you guys. We appreciate you supporting us. I stressed this last time. I'm going to continue to stress it again. Please, please, please tell your friends that are in the industry about this. If you have to email them, text them, links, whatever it is, if you want to send them the link to this off of our YouTube channels, do that. Just share with people, because the more the merrier. It's going to add to that value proposition of us all elevating the industry together. The together doesn't work unless there's more and more people getting involved in that. And you and I both know that there's thousands of people in our industry that are networking people. They're marketing people. They're abundance mindset people, and they believe in what we are doing. And if they just don't know about this, then they can't participate in it. So just help us get the word out there, because we're just 2 guys talking to a camera right now. But we need you guys to tell your networks, and we're going to keep telling our networks about this. So don't forget, guys, January 14th, 6 p.m. East Coast time. Did I just call it that? 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Man, you're really messing with me now. 3 p.m. You love that, don't you?
Brainwashing you.
3 p.m. Pacific time. It is a Thursday. I have confirmed that.
Okay.
And you're not going to want to miss this one. You're not going to want to miss any of them that we do in the future, but you're definitely not going to miss this one because of Brian Wallace.
All right. Well, this is Jordan with Laundromat Resource, Dave, the Laundromat Millionaire, Menz with laundromatmillionaire.com. And we cannot wait to see you at our live Q&A, January 14th, 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific. We'll see you guys there.
Thanks, guys. Take care.